China is immune to populism because populism is written within the Chinese genes. China is the only civilization in the world that had a long tradition of successful peasant rebellions. This is also why most people in China today understood that populism in the name of whatever ideology is merely replacing one set of elites with another. Because of that, the Chinese people are generally skeptical towards populism unless the economy has truly collapsed. This is why even as the globalization creates economic insecurity, the Chinese middle class do not romanticize political upheaval. They saw people lashing out in anger not as principled revolutionaries, but merely as opportunists who are just as power hungry as the political structure they claim to oppose. There is a saying in China that you are against CCP because you are not CCP. And that gives China a huge political flexibility because the Communist Party of China is by definition left-wing. It then has the political credential to implement right-wing economic policies. This will be very effective if China's limited liberalization immediately gained international approval, because that approval can be presented domestically as the proof that China is becoming stronger and more influential. You can see this in several cases. One was the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership signed at the end of 2020, when China opened part of its agricultural markets to imports from Australia and New Zealand, even though that put pressure on domestic farmers. But politically, this was framed as a sign that China was gaining the upper hand in the Indo-Pacific through economic influence. You can also see it in AI. Artificial intelligence is clearly going to threaten many jobs in China, but compared with most societies, Chinese public opinion is far more techno-optimistic. Many people in China are willing to tolerate internal disruption if they believe it helps China to compete with the United States. And the most important pattern appears in tourism. China went from rigid zero COVID to rapidly expanding visa-free travel for many countries within 3 years. That weakened the logic of the Great Firewall because foreign visitors effectively legitimizes the VPN access. They are certainly internal oppositions, but once the policy could be linked to improving China's image and international influence, it becomes China's trump card.